Namaste, Jai Shiva. So, few of my students and they are real seekers and they have asked this question that what should be the take on anger for those who are walking the spiritual journey? Should they just go on bearing everything, no matter who does what, no matter if they are harassed or ridiculed or, whatever happens, should they just go on taking it and try to stay calm, quiet, because that is what spirituality is trying to make them. So on one side we are saying stay calm, stay quiet, balance yourself and calm down your emotions. And on the other side, even the Vedas and talk about anger, being angry on people, those who are doing some sort of nonsense. In Hindi, we say that being angry on dusht people. Dusht means somebody who is actually wreaking a kind of a havoc, either in your life or in somebody else's life, or just creating bad karma for themselves. What should be done about that? How that should be handled? So one very important thing here to understand is that you can either react with anger or you can respond through anger. There is a subtle difference between the two. Really subtle difference between the two. Let me give you an example. Say for example, you are walking your spiritual journey and you are a yogi and you have got 3 kids in your house. Okay, you have got 3 kids and they are fighting with each other. And even though the one who is weaker among the 3 is actually right about what he is saying or what he has done or not done, okay, but the really strong one, the powerful kid that you have got, strong one, he's damn beating that weaker one. Outright beating him real bad. You once said, don't do it. Stop doing it. You used your voice to do that. After that, you raised your voice real bad. Stop doing it. And when he did not listen and he kept doing that, you got up and you gave a tight slap to the one who was beating to stop him. Now you are a spiritual person. Suddenly your wife comes and tells you, what kind of spirituality is that? You should be quiet and, just don't interfere or don't react or don't do anything. Don't beat the kid. How can you be spiritual and yet beat the kid? A lot of such things, such scenarios happen. A lot of yogis in India, they're walking their spiritual journey, and at times they have to go from village to village, from town to town, and they're walking on foot, or they are sitting in some forest and doing their tapasya, their tapas. But there are a lot of population these days, and some rowdy kids and some rowdy teen or some people, ridiculous people, will come and start throwing stones at a meditating person, or start saying bad words, towards insult, really saying bad things about Paramatma. It's fine you say about Paramatma, what about the Atma who is meditating? So should they not respond? At once they can say don't do that. Second time they can say please don't do that. Third time they might get up and say something or do something that may look like as if that spiritual person is such an angry person and really might have cursed them in a real bad way, or might have, if he is a powerful one, beat the hell out of those ridiculous nonsense youth or teens or whosoever is disturbing their meditation or samadhi. Okay, so they can do that. All these scenarios can happen. Inside the house it can happen. Outside, even when you are a renunciate, a proper sannyasi, official sannyasi, these things can happen. So one thing you need to understand here is that a yogi or anybody who's walking their own spiritual journey should never bear injustice or harassment that is being done to them or to somebody else in front of them. They should not stay silent. They must do something about it. At times, that something is just using your voice, raising your voice. At times, that something is, slapping them tight, giving them a real harsh beating. At times, it could be, just complaining to the police and going through the entire whole justice system. So punishment part of it, you may or may not take in your hands, okay? Depending upon how big of a harassment or how big of a mischievous thing or criminal activity that has happened. So you may or may not take a justice in your hand, but definitely never stay silent about such things. You cannot be silent about such things and go your way thinking, oh, I am just going to do my Ram, 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 or my mantra japas, and so what, I will ignore whatever is happening around in the world. No, that's not spirituality. Being a yogi means being a warrior from within. If somebody attacks you verbally, physically, take appropriate measures. If somebody abuses you, tries to take, advantage of you, undue advantage of you, then get up and do something about it. You are a warrior, you are a courageous person from within. Spirituality is not another name, another thing for being a wimp. So don't be wimpy at all. Neither a spiritual organization should ever be wimpy. There are a lot of people who, especially I have seen that lot of parents who do not want their grown-up son or daughter to take sannyasa, or to just pursue their spiritual journey. They might go to any length to get into clash with gurus. They'll try to, even kill the gurus just because their son and daughter has gone from the house and walking their spiritual journey, just because their son or daughter has been born as a vairagi, as a dispassionate person. So then, any and every spiritual organization must respond accordingly. Okay? Must take measure. Don't bear it. No need to bear it. No need to bear the nonsense of this samsara. No need to bear or suffer the ignorance of others. Spirituality is not the name, another, some kind of a nice cover for the weakness that you might have within. And most importantly, it is related to your Vishuddhi chakra. And there are people, some people could be as mild as, every day telling you their sob story or they're doing emotional tantrums around you. One day you will say stop, 2 days you will say stop, for a week you may keep doing things, you will try to ignore them, go here and there, in so many different myriad ways you will try to tell them, stop, get out of my face, but still they won't listen. So in the end, what will you do? Just give them a tight slap. Why? They are throwing bad energy, negative energy, such a bad, poor energy all around other people, those who are walking their spiritual journey and trying to be really focused into something, as well as they are creating a bad karma by doing such a thing. To stop a yogi, to stop a sannyasi, to stop a vairagi from pursuing their spiritual journey is the worst kind of a karma that anybody can do. Never do that. Leave such people alone. Don't harass them. Don't ridicule them. Don't disturb them. Don't go on their head all the time. Give your emotional tantrums to them. It's the worst kind of a thing that anybody can do. So at times, to stop people from doing the bad karma, we have to take strict measures. Now, reacting in anger means that you are out of control. You don't know what needs to be done. Okay? Responding with anger is what a yogi needs to learn. Responding with anger when required, and only when it is absolutely necessary. Why? It brings down your own energy. But at times, to set the record straight, to set the other person straight, if it is necessary, then it has to be done. It must be done. If somebody slaps you, let them know you have got two hands too. Don't offer them the other cheek. If somebody is emotionally harassing you, emotionally, trying to control you, manipulate you, respond to it. And if that response has to be with anger, so be it. You are a warrior within. If today you cannot stand up for your own Atma, for yourself, how in the world are you going to stand up with Paramatma? How? So stand up for yourself. Stand up for your fellow spiritual seekers, for other spiritual seekers. Stand up for even non-spiritual seeker. If there is a injustice going on in front of your eyes, don't be silent. Do not ignore that. Okay? This is a very important thing. This Vishuddhi Chakra becomes polluted if you stay silent where you could have spoken. If you just do nothing when you could have done something. To stop that injustice from happening. To stop that person from doing the injustice and creating bad karma for himself or herself. When you could have done something, when you could have said something, and you choose not to do it, you choose to ignore it, you choose to stay silent about it, you are polluting this Vishuddhi Chakra. You are not going anywhere in your spiritual journey. You will not progress at all, and you are creating a bad karma for yourself too. Staying silent when a crime is happening, cruelty is happening, injustice is happening, staying silent about it, not doing anything about it, also means you are in acceptance of what is happening. And silence is treated as an acceptance or agreement to that cruelty, to that injustice, to that adharma that is happening. So that is counted towards your bad karma. Don't create bad karma. Never create bad karma, no matter what. So get up and stay. Do not stay silent. Do something. I am not saying become an activist. Okay? Same thing happens a lot these days on social media. Every now and then, even on my YouTube channel, and I see with so many gurus saying teaching such a nice thing in teaching, and spending such a precious time of theirs 24/7, such a hard working people they become, and so much they work lecturing people, trying to teach them. YouTube is offering all the free wisdom that they have got by dying in their life, in their spiritual journey. Yet there are some trolls trolling all kinds of spiritual gurus here and there, here and there, here and there, as if they have nothing else, nothing better in this world to do. Some people will just go on arguing uselessly about this, about that. They have nothing to do with wisdom or real spiritual seeking at all, but it's a sort of online harassment. Just like we teach our kids that there is cyber bullying, right? Cyber stalking, cyber bullying, trolling. We teach our kids about cyber security, right? Exactly in the same way, nobody on even on social media platforms should be disrespectful, outright threatening kind of a thing, or just uselessly throwing nonsense and trolling you here and there, trying to engage you into some sort of a bullshit talks or bullshit things to get a reaction from you, to get a response from you. Stand up for that. Answer to an extent you can. If you cannot, just block them in every way possible. There are 99,000 ways these days on cyber media, so online social media or anything, to block people from even entering the internet platform. Okay, there are lots of ways to do that. So learn things, learn to survive in this world. There will be a lot of people who will outright condemn what you are doing. That does not mean they are right. There are thousands and hundreds of parents and people who are always trying to get their kids back home and their son and daughter back home, and try to get them married and try to have kids and try to give them all kinds of samsara and worldly responsibilities. And their kids and sons and daughters are actually vairagis, so they want to walk their spiritual journey. What to do? So just because there are 99,000 owls, that does not mean sun doesn't rise. Sun is going to rise. They may not be able to see it, and that is their problem. If they cannot see it, it's their problem. So never ever think that spirituality means weakness. Never ever think that being spiritual means just doing your mantras and jap and chantings and this and that and your yoga and kriya pranayama, and then the whosoever says what, just never paying attention, never trying to stop them, or never standing up for yourself. A yogi not only stands up for himself or herself, a yogi actually stands up for setting up the dharma in their immediate family, in their immediate community, in that society that they live in their state, in their country. If you people start doing terrorism in your country, yogis are the first one who should stand up. It's not just shastras, which scriptures that a yogi has in his hand. A yogi has shastra too, weapon too, in their hand. So if they have to fight, they have the courage to do that. So since very long, since ancient times, yogis in India have fought in wars to defend their country. And even in today's time, they can. A lot of yogis possess that kind of a spirit. They can really pick up a weapon and fight if there is a requirement. If a country needs to be defended, if house needs to be defended, if society, community or temple or something needs to be defended, they can. And there is nothing wrong about it. It is not against divine will. Just know that. Setting up dharma, setting up justice for everyone, creating a just society is also one of the responsibilities. So keep your eyes and ears open. Try not to ignore. You can ignore to an extent if they are your loved ones, but after some time you really need to stand up. Either you are courageous or you are not. If you are courageous, you are a yogi. Otherwise, you are not. It is that clear of a distinction. In all the yogis in their previous lifetimes were actually warriors. Super, super, super courageous warriors. That's the reason in this lifetime they have the courage to walk a spiritual journey, which is harder than fighting any war on this planet, which is harder than taking a bullet on you. It's harder than that. So never be mistaken that a spiritual journey is for, those who are running from life or escape. Real yogis I am talking about. Yes, there are a lot of escapists as well in this spiritual world. So I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the real yogis. Real yogis, all of the yogis actually have a warrior spirit within. The person who can fight their own mind, fight their own ego, and win that battle is the king actually. And can fight and win any damn battle in this world. In this samsara, in this Brahmanda, entire Brahmanda, a powerful yogi or a powerful yogini can win any damn battle against any cruel, injustice kind of a person. Why? All the Devi Shaktis are with him or her, are with such a yogi. You see, the goddess Durga, goddess Kali, goddess Chinnamasta, do they look like some kind of wimpy goddesses to you? Nice, touchy-feely, girly kind of goddesses to you? No. They are the ferocious ones. For whom? Dusht people. For all those who are cruel or who are ignorant, on the name of their ignorance, go on doing bad karma. Go on creating bad karma for themselves and harm other people, harm the society, harm the good people in the society. So those Devi Shaktis, all those Shaktis are within a yogi at all times while he is walking his or her spiritual journey. Ma Adi Shakti, the primordial Shakti, is with such a yogi. So don't be mistaken. Indian spirituality, the real spirituality, real Adhyatma, is not another name of weakness, is not another name of being wimpy. Okay? So you have the right to respond with anger. Do not react with anger. Always respond with anger. And you may or may not take the punishment in your hand. Be mindful about that. You may go through proper justice system, proper police and everybody, proper authorities, okay? So you may not take the justice in your hand, but do not bear nonsense. Do not bear bullshit. Stand up for yourself, and you have every right to be. And it is in accordance with your walking your spiritual journey. Do not worry about that. Okay? Namaste. Jai Shiva.